One of the best questions is, what happens when my kids start doing something good? It's such a beautiful question to have. You have to be very careful. With the boys, it's sometimes, what do I do? My kid tells me, this is after usually a long time where we built trust and we were there for them when they were doing the bad stuff, and we took them to the bad places and we bought the bad stuff, of course, with your Rav's approval. And now he feels comfortable with you. He tells you, Ta, I put on tefillin today. What do I do? Mommy, I want to keep Pesach. I kept Shabbos. What do you want to do? You want to, woo, great, like gewaldig, right? You really want to make a kiddush. You want to get the trumpets out and start making a whole party. Balloons. Don't do that. Don't do that. Why? First of all, the war is not over. Don't blow your cover. If you're an undercover agent in the middle of Syria, and before the war's over, with one little victory, you blow your cover, you're dead. You got to be under the cover, stay under there, for as long as we need you, which is forever, number one. Number two, recognize that the reason that he put on the tefillin is because you were not openly pro-tefillin. You were not openly telling her you should. That's not why they did it. They did it because internally he's healing. And he's able to heal, and she's able to heal because you didn't represent the Torah, which puts pressure on them. You took the pressure off, and you went ahead and you showed them, I love you and I accept you for who you are. So now, if you're going to say, because they kept Shabbos one time, and you say, oh, that's great, that's wonderful, that means that from now on you're irrelevant. Because now I know what you're really all about. So when you say, come, let's have a good time, nope. Because if you say, I'm very proud of you, that means that your pride is in Shabbos. And that's the opposite of the message that we want to give. Complimenting them, I'm proud of you that you're going to Gan Eden. Here's the thing. What happens when they break the next Shabbos? What happens when they go back? There's always ups and downs. Nobody goes up. It's like a little stock. Even if it goes from 0 to 100, it's rocky road. It goes up to 10, it drops. It goes up to 20, it drops. This is even if we're matzliach, there's ups and downs. So you say, wow, you get that twinkle in the eye? The pride is shooting out. You can't even stop it. Right? And you're like, so proud of you. And they're saying, hey, first of all, I have not seen that pride since 5th grade when I came home with a good report card. So, wow, look, my father saw it. Now, what happens when I don't do it? So then that pride crushes me. Because now I let you down, and you're going back into that whole thing. Unfortunately, we have to hedge our bets. Most likely, it's going to go back down. So don't blow your cover, and don't add to the guilt. So what should you say? Listen to this. Interesting. How did it make you feel? Now, why are they saying it to you? Why is he saying, Tati, I put on tefillin? Because he feels good. I want him to say it. How did it make you feel? So he's going to say, it actually felt good. You hold his hands, you look in his eyes, and you say, if it makes you happy, I'm happy. You already know that I was happy when you didn't put on tefillin. I want you to have a happy life. Whatever makes you happy is good. You don't have to say all this. When he brought the girl home, he told him, I want you to be happy. Right? He knows that you spent a year or 2 or 3 convincing him your happiness is all I care about, right? And now he's saying that the same way that the McDonald's made me happy, tefillin makes me happy. Oh, makes you happy? I'm happy. You know by now, Shefala, the only thing that I am here for is to make you happy. He associates the good thing. He spelled it out that this makes me happy. You didn't blow your cover that, yay, God, Hashem, Torah, Olam Haba, can have nachas and grandchildren. You didn't blow your cover, especially over a little tiny wind that's going to go away anyway. You didn't add to the guilt. You just identified how to make you feel. Mommy, I went to a simcha last night and I dressed sneeze. I felt like all my other friends were there. Really? You didn't dress like that in a long time. How did it feel? If they're telling it to you, they're always going to think about it and say, either they'll say, or they'll say, yeah, pretty good. You know what? If it makes you feel good, it makes me happy. I only want you to feel good. And then it depends on your relationship. Sometimes you could say, if for the ones that you know their pain and they were open about you, the ones who were suicidal, the ones who were bad, you could even say, Shefala, you had so much pain in your life, anything that makes you happy, I forgive. I'm happy for you. I'm so happy for you. That's the mahalach to do. So you don't blow your cover. You get them to express that the good thing makes them happy, and you tell them the reason why you're happy for them is because it made you happy, not because of Hashem. You can't represent Hashem to them. You can't be Hashem's policeman. That's not your job.
She decided beforehand, right?
You tell her, no problem.
And then she's like,
No. Always take the side of the Yetzer Hara. Make it easier for you. Because she's always going to think.
I'm planning
How does it? Why? You're not planning on eating chametz. Wow, interesting. I wasn't expecting that. Why? Have a discussion. Why? Well, chametz is not whatever. Okay, great. If it makes you happy, makes me happy, Shefla.
in the middle of Pesach, she sees a Starbucks.
Right. So I wish I can go to Starbucks. You could. It's not your battle. You're not the guard, and you're not the Hashem's guard. It's not your battle. What does that have to do with you? Oh, 1 second. I call you up and I tell you, I call you up. I say, listen, I want to go on a diet. So you say, oh, Avi, very good. I call you up 10 hours later. There's a Dunkin' Donuts. Okay? So some people say, oh, don't go. Let's say you don't really care, right? Like, see, you don't work for the dietitian. You say, okay, so have a donut.
no, but
It's your battle. It's
help you not eat the donut.
your job is to help her stay alive, not to stop her from eating a donut. What's going to help her stop to eat all the donuts and to keep all mitzvahs is knowing that you support her. If you take the side of God, she will always think that it wasn't because you really were concerned for my success. It's really because you wanted me to be frum. And that's going to blow your cover. So you can't take that chance. Furthermore, when you use reverse psychology with kips, it usually works because of reactance. Reactance is in their brain. And if you push her to eat chametz on Pesach, you have a higher chance that she won't do it than if you do the opposite. You already tried controlling her. You know she does the opposite. So just stay out of it. It's not your battle. She tried to do something good. All of a sudden, and this is really deeper. I'm glad you brought this up. What kids tell me, or I know how they feel. They're like, if I would eat chametz, you wouldn't bother me. Now that I wanted to eat thing, all of a sudden you're in my business, pressuring me. Oh, you remember you didn't want to? I don't need this. So why would I tell you next time when I want to go on the diet or the next good thing? She's inviting you into her life, saying, I would like to try to do something good. As far as I'm concerned, the fact that your daughter wanted to keep Pesach is much more important than whether she could or not, or fills it or not. Her ruts it. She did?
Yeah, and she said she wanted
Good for you.
but she didn't go.
So I said,
Great.
oh, right. I'm curious.
What helps the person be oimid in the Nisayan is not hearing what's right for them. She knows what's right and what's wrong. What helps a person is internal strength. Where does inner strength come from? Support. Emotional support. And what I'm saying is, when you give emotional support even to do bad, lemaisa, you're building muscle. With that muscle, they'll do good, and that's really what Reb Gershon Edelstein was saying. Reb Gershon Edelstein said of art that when you support with kavod and yedidus your children, that gives them emotional energy, power. Mekabel koiches. Those were the words. The noisenly mekabel koiches. So she was only able to lift 50 pounds. But with your support, she can lift 150 pounds. How do you get her to build the muscle to lift 150 pounds? That when she could only build 50 pounds, you stop thinking about everything and you just think about what builds muscle. Build muscle. Compliments, boosting, and stay out of her business. Stay out of her business. Just because she tells you, imagine your husband tells you, I'm working on my shmiris halashon. And then all of a sudden he's about to talk, and all of a sudden you become the mashgiach. Remember you said you weren't going to do that? Remember? I say, whoa, I was just telling you I'm trying to do something. Doesn't mean I'll be successful. And it doesn't mean I'll be successful every time. And it doesn't mean I'll be successful now. Could be out full 10 times. I didn't tell this to you to be able to criticize me. Right? So make sure that you never come across as her mashgiach, her policeman, her advisor. Do not give advice.
So let's say she wants to keep her busy.
No. If she says, I'm reaching for the iPhone, and as she's going in slow motion, you're like, wait, we'll play a game. And every time she reaches, no, you're not on defense, you're not on offense. Compliment her. And when she falls is an opportunity to really fix the inside. You go over to her, you put your arm around her, you say, Shefala, I am so impressed with your strength. Strength? I just fell. Sheva yipol tzadik v'kam. We all fall. Anybody here ever been on a diet? Looking around the room, I would say no. I'm kidding. Everybody's been on a diet, right? It's after Pesach, right? Everybody goes on a diet and finishes the diet 10 weeks later, and they lost 175 pounds, and they never. What are you talking about? What, malachim? For her to keep Shabbos, even if she falls, is like you in your things that are hard. It's hard. It's hard for them. What makes them frum is not that they'll be frum. It's that you don't let them break when they fall. That way they try again. You ever see a baby walk? Baby learns how to walk. They fall, and they fall, and they fall. If every time they fall, you would say, look at you. See, I knew you couldn't do it. Just stay down. You're worthless. No. What do we say? We say, try again. When you're ready, you'll try again. But with our kids, don't motivate them either. You're not here to motivate them. You're not here. You're just be supportive. Think about it. When you break that diet, what do you want to hear from your best friend? Those are the words to say.